So the month is winding down, and that means it's time for the Maybe series. Hi, hello, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Alex, and today is the July Maybe series. If you're new here, the Maybe series is a post that I put together towards the end of the month with a list of books that I might read for the upcoming month. This is not a TBR. I am not a huge reader, and yeah, these are just some books that have caught my eye. I'll get gently into the synopsis and why I added it to the list, and yeah, pretty short, pretty sweet, pretty simple. Make sure you hit all the buttons down below so you know when I'm posting. I post every week, and all we do on this channel is talk about books. So if you like listening to people talk about books, here I am every week doing just that for you. Let me just say, I am not filming at my usual time today. The lighting is really like messing with my head. It is extremely hot in my office because we had to stop running the AC up here. Yeah, being a homeowner is just like wild. So there's no AC and I'm very warm. So I'm gonna try and keep this kind of like short and to the point. June has just been difficult. I know I always say like, oh, this month was wild. June was not wild. June was hard. I've been struggling with my mental health like pretty much the whole month. I feel really down, really unmotivated. I've struggled with work this month. I've struggled with any kind of commitments this month. I'm just going through it a little bit, and I'm just sort of like hanging on for dear life and waiting for everything to like settle back down, but I don't actually know if that's gonna happen. So when I sat down to make the July Maybes list, I am not kidding when I tell you it took me 2 hours to come up with 6 books that I might want to read in July, because I just don't want to read. Like, if we're being honest, I'm just really, really struggling with reading. I'm struggling getting my contracts done on time for my freelancing gig. I'm really behind on my reading for June, and June's like over. I'm not with it. I'm just not. So yeah, the list today is like semi-recycled. And yeah, I just really struggled making it. So yeah, I'm hoping July will kind of like look up and I'll get out of whatever this is, but I'm also just trying to be very gentle with myself and not fall into bad habits and just kind of take care of myself. So yeah, enough about me, let's talk about books. Okay, so the first book that I added to the July Maybes list was Devil in Ohio by Daria Polatin. I think that's how you say it. This is recycled. You guys have seen this on my channel before. And I really, really, really want to read it because I want to finish the Netflix series that they did based off this book. And this book is based off true events. So basically the documentary is also, the little series is kind of like a documentary too, because it's based off this book, and this book is based off things that actually happened. The reason this hasn't got read is because the reviews are not that great. But I'm super interested in cults and things like that, so this book has a lot of appeal for me. It's basically about a girl that runs away from a cult and seeks the help of a child psychologist, and her family kind of take her in to sort of reintroduce her to society, and that's what the story's about. So yeah, cults, A+ from me. We'll see if this gets added. This was actually really hard for me to find the last time that I tried to read it, so we'll see. The next book on the Maybes list is Into the Drowning Deep by Mira. I talked about this in my Sapphic Summer post, and I'm super interested in reading it because it's about mermaids and stuff. Like, this research team goes to the Marianas Trench and, tap into something that they're not supposed to find. The representation of this book is supposed to be off the charts, not just for Sapphic rep, but also like there's supposed to be some good mental health rep in it. I think there's deaf ASL rep in there, and then I also think there's chronic pain rep in there, which I don't get to read a lot of books like that, and I suffer from chronic pain, so it would be interesting to see that represented on the page. Yeah, a lot of people highly recommend this book. One of the reasons I could see me not reading it though is because it's kind of thick, and with the way that I've been struggling in June with reading, I'm afraid to pick up anything that's really big, but I also think this will be really good. The next book on the list is Little Secrets by Jennifer Hillier. So I just talked about Jennifer Hillier in my thrillers post that I did a little while ago. She wrote Jar of Hearts, which was just dark and twisted and very thrilling. And I kind of sat there and thought for a minute, and I was like, you know, I haven't read anything else by Jennifer Hillier. And while I didn't love Jar of Hearts, I think I do like her writing. So I want to see if Jennifer Hillier could be someone that goes in the lineup a little bit more frequently, like if I do like her thrillers. And so I kind of just scrolled through her books and picked one that was highly rated, and this one was pretty high. It was one of the highest rated ones that she had. And this is about a wife who loses her son. I think he goes missing, and then she finds out that her husband is having an affair, and that's kind of where the story kicks off. I'm not really sure, you know, what the thrilling aspect of it is going to be. I have read books thriller books that have this storyline, and they did not work for me at all. So, like, I'm hoping this would work out. It's not terribly long, and like I said, I liked the writing that Jennifer Hillier put in Jar of Hearts, and if this one is as dark as that one, I will be more prepared this time for, like, a darker storyline, but I'm interested to see what she does with this idea. The next book I'm going to talk about is The Rise of the Magicks by Nora Roberts. Okay, so this is the last book in the Chronicles of the One series. I read book 1 for my book club. It had to have been 3 years ago now. Book 1 was amazing. It's all about, like, post-apocalyptic, and, like, after this pandemic kind of happens, the only people that are left are people that are, like, magical or not magical. And, you know, of course, the world just kind of, like, splits into good versus evil and all that. And then we have the introduction of the Chosen One, which happens at the end of this book. And then the second book, I think it's called Of Blood and Bone. I did not love this book, the second book in the series. It was very difficult for me to get through. It was all very necessary to get to the third book, but it just felt really flat for me. It was just like we were trying to digest so much information all at once, and I was like, I'm really tired. It was a slog, and it just wasn't very exciting, and I just felt like it was all dreadfully necessary, and it wasn't as interesting to me as the first book. So I think the third book will be really good. And I do want to close out this series this year because this is the last book in the series, so, you know, that would be a nice way to just, like, close it out. It's just one book. Yeah, I don't know. I am hesitant because it is a little bit thick. I think it's over 400 pages, and yeah, that's kind of big for me right now. We'll see. The next book I'm going to talk about is The Girls in the Garden by Lisa Jewell. Okay, I have read several of Lisa Jewell's books. Okay. And I have not loved any of them. Were they good thrillers? I think that Lisa Jewell writes decent thrillers that have very controversial, or dare I say, weird plot lines. And that's, you know, kind of a strong word coming from me because I do read weird stuff, but, like, just some of the decisions that she makes with her stories are kind of like, what were you thinking when you decided to do that? And, like, that's what we're really going with? Like, that's the final decision? Of all the things we could have done, we did it like this? Those are kind of the things that I've found myself thinking when I'm reading a Lisa Jewell book. So, this kind of goes with the Jennifer Hillier idea of, I'm gonna give Lisa Jewell another go. I want to see if Lisa Jewell's not for me, you know? So yeah, this is another book. Like, I looked at her list of books, and this was one that was highly rated. Again, one of her higher rated ones. And so I was like, okay, if other people find this one, you know, highly rated, then this will be a good test to see, like, if Lisa Jewell is or is not for me. The Girls in the Garden, it is about a community that kind of, it's more like a commune. Like, I mean, that's what I was gathering. That's what it felt like from the description. And like, people kind of just let their kids all play together in this like communal garden, and everyone just takes care of everybody, and it's very open and honest and communal. And then one of the girls ends up dead in the garden, and that's the premise of the story. So it sounds interesting. Like I said, Lisa Jewell has some like weird things that she does in her book sometimes, at least with my experience with Lisa Jewell. So we will see. If I remember, this one's not terribly long. Like, this could be manageable for me. So yeah, we'll see if I can get to it. Okay, this is the last one on the list. It's A Worthy Opponent by Katee Robert. This is the third book in the Wicked Villain series. And the Wicked Villain series is like, Katee Robert takes the villain from famous Disney movies and has them go after the princess, person of interest, whatever's in the film. So the first book was Desperate Measures, and that was Jasmine and Jafar. The second book was Learn My Lesson, and that was Hades, Meg, and Hercules. And this book, if you can tell by the cover, is about Hook and Tinkerbell. So this one's really short. I still have some of the Desperate Measures shorts saved up on my Kindle that I could easily read. Like, if I don't have time to get to this, or like it doesn't end up working out or whatever, I could always read the shorts because I am kind of behind on those. The shorts are not necessary. They're just kind of nice, I guess. Yeah. This one's pretty short, and if I can get my hands on it, it would be a really easy read. The thing is, these Katee Robert books are really hard to find at my local library. Like, the waiting lists for these are huge. Maybe if there's a really long waiting list, I'll just put my name on it, and when it comes up, it'll be like a surprise, and I can like go pick it up and read it whenever it comes in, even if that's like months from now. But we'll see. The last couple times that I've tried to read these books, I've actually borrowed them from my friend that bought most of the series. And I really don't want to do that again because I'm really bad about returning her books because she doesn't live close to me. So yeah, I really don't want to borrow any more of her books because I feel like it just takes me so long to get back to her with them, and then I feel bad. I feel bad hanging on to people's books. Like, I'm afraid that if they're in my possession, they might get damaged if I hold on to them for so long. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've got a bunch of pets, I've got a bunch of kids. Like, there's a really high chance that something will go, like, wrong if I keep things too long. I don't know. It's like a weird fear that I have. Anyways, yeah, that's A Worthy Opponent. Okay, that's all I have on my maybes list. Like I said, it's short because, like, I can't get into it right now. I'm really struggling with reading, and then too, it's so hot in my office. It's so hot up here, like, I'm having trouble breathing a little bit. It's warm. So yeah, I wanted to keep today kind of short and simple, and yeah, I didn't have a huge list anyway, so it was fine. Make sure you hit all the buttons down below so you know when I'm posting. I post every week, and if there's any books on this list that you have read or that you want me to read, if you have any book recommendations for me, make sure you drop those in the comments, and I would love to hear what all of you guys think about that. Yeah, that's all I have for you guys today, so I will see you guys next time. Bye!